We are going to talk about the location of industries, where it will be ideally suited to set up a manufacturing unit or a factory. That is what we are going to talk about. In other words, we are going to talk about the factors which influence industrial location. However, one should be kept in mind that the most important factor which determines the location of industry is the cost of production. Industries are located at those places which have the minimum, which incurs the minimum cost of production. Because the purpose of the manufacturer is to present the best quality product at the minimum price to the consumer, which increases the chances of the product to be sold in the market and which can maximize the profit of the manufacturers. So, cost of production becomes a very important factor. There are different types of industries. There are some industries which are weight losing, which require such raw materials which are weight losing. Take example of metallurgical industry like iron steel industry. The raw materials that is required for iron steel industries like iron, coal and other things, these are weight losing. Out of the total raw material, very small amount of finished products is produced. So it will be sensible to set up such type of industries at those places which are the source of raw material to minimize the cost of transportation. And it will be sensible to transport the finished products to the marketplace. It will not be sensible to set up heavy and bulky weight losing raw material based industries to set up near the marketplace that will incur higher transportation cost. However, there are certain industries which uses such raw materials which incurs the same cost of transportation, whether it is of the raw material or the finished products. So it can be established anywhere. It is not bound by the availability of raw material at a particular place. And it can be established anywhere near the market or near the source of raw material. So, and this type of industries we call footloose industry. For example, the cotton textile industry. Take example of the cotton textile industry. It can be set up near the raw material producing regions and the finished products can be transported to the marketplaces. However, the cost of transportation of raw cotton or the yarn is the same as the finished products, that is cloth. So either you set up these industries near the marketplace or near the raw material producing regions, the cost of transportation will be the same. So it can be established anywhere without increasing the cost of transportation. This type of industry, we call it footloose industry. And cotton textile industry is a very good example of footloose industry. However, we are discussing about the factors which influence the industrial location. So, besides the availability of raw material, if we talk about the different factors, it is access to market, access to labor supply, access to different sources of energy which is required for the manufacturing process, access to a good transportation system and communication facilities. Besides, government policy also becomes a very important factor which determines the location of industries. Access to agglomeration economy has also become a factor these days because these are the regions where large number of industries are located and also the density population is very high. So not only different type of products are available, but also a big market is available for selling the products that is produced in that region. So this also become a very good factor for location of industry. Now talking about one by one, access to market. Whatever is produced is produced to be consumed. So, wherever it is produced, whether near the source of raw material or whether near the marketplace itself, a very good network of transportation should be available so that whatever is required to be brought for the manufacturing process as raw material, that could be brought easily and cheaply, and also the finished products could be transported with convenience to the marketplace at the minimum cost so that it can be sold to the consumers at the minimum price. Besides that, as I told you, access to raw material is another factor which determines the location of industries, because without the raw material, the industries can't function. So, whichever type of industry it is, raw materials required for that should be easily available. There should be a proper network of transportation system available which can procure, through which the manufacturers can procure the raw materials. Besides, another very important factor is availability of labor, because without labor nothing could be produced. Whether it is laborers who are required for doing the physical work or a highly skilled labor, today in the manufacturing process, division of labor is a very important factor. And so skilled labors become, availability of the skilled labor force becomes a very important factor in the location of industry. So availability of skilled labor and also cheap labor is another important factor for the location of industry. Besides, machines need power, energy or electricity to run. So availability of different sources of energy required for the manufacturing process is another factor that determines the location of industry. Besides, one of the most important factors, as we talked in the beginning, is the transportation facilities through which the raw materials could be transported to the manufacturing centers and the manufactured products could be transported to the marketplaces. And also the communication facilities which today in the modern world makes it possible for searching market for a particular product. So availability of both transportation, good systems of transportation and communication, that is another important factor which should be taken into account while determining the location of a particular industry. Not only that, government policies. The government may decide to set up an industry at a particular place which may not have the best potential for setting up the industry over there, but the government decides to set up an industry over there to bring about development in that region which may be backward, which may generate economic development in that region, which may provide job opportunities for the people and bring about faster development in that region. So keeping these things in mind, the government may decide to set up an industry at a particular place which may not be very ideally suited for location of an industry. But for public welfare, the government may decide for that. And so the government policy becomes also an important factor for determining the location of industries. Besides the agglomeration economies, as I told you, it provides not only different types of products and also brings closer a very big market, which is a modern feature today. That also becomes an important factor for location of industry, because it links different types of industries situated in the region and not only provides the raw material for those industries but also the market for different industries. So agglomeration economy has also become an important factor. So these are the factors which we can talk about while discussing about the factors influencing industrial location. But we should keep in mind that there are industries which are not guided by the availability of raw material, and that can be established anywhere without incurring an increase in the cost of transportation, and that we call footloose industry.